It is on at Twickenham this Friday night. That South Africa team that has just been named. Wow. Wow, very, very interesting. Oh, I can't wait for this. And just generally, thank you, South Africa, for these early team announcements. I love it. And because the game is a day earlier on a Friday night, the team has arrived on a Monday, meaning we can start the week by getting excited for next weekend already. So thank you for that. Soon, I don't know what, are South Africa going to start naming their teams earlier and earlier? So they'll start naming their teams for 3 games' time eventually. I just thank you for it. I appreciate it. And have a look at that. There is a lot to discuss. Question, and please get stuck in the comments. I'm Tim. This is Egg Chasers. And please hit subscribe as well. But yeah, leave your comments. How close is this starting 15 to the strongest team South Africa can put out? Because I think there might be 11 starters in the game against Scotland, as I see it. If you were to pick right now, I think 11 of these guys will be starting. 1 to 10, probably all starting, and one of the back line, which I'll get into. So I'll be interested to know what you think. How close is this to full strength? Is this a full strength pack? Actually, I might take that back because there are a few question marks, aren't there? So let's go through it. Front row picks itself. Kits off, Marks, Malherbe. Right, world class all the way through. Eben Etzebeth. One of the questions is who is going to partner Eben Etzebeth against Scotland and in the big games? And Franco Moster gets the nod this time. He has got that opportunity to make it his. I thought Jean Klein and RG Sneeman are both absolute beasts lately, and both in with a shout, both on the bench against New Zealand this weekend. Moster has a chance, and he is a class act as well. So that's one question mark that they need to get to the bottom of. Number 8, you think the jersey's Dwayne Vermeulen's? Could still be Jasper Wiese's, perhaps, but I think Vermeulen is in the box seat and he wears number 8 this weekend. Just got to say as well, awesome that Sia Khaleesi has been named in another team straight away. He's involved now in 2 games, both the games immediately before the World Cup, which is a massive boost for South Africa, because I don't know what your expectation was at the weekend against Wales. I was just amazed and delighted to see Sia Khaleesi on the pitch. But the fact he put in such a good performance, there's an argument to say he was the best player on the pitch in the first half. That is remarkable. So it will be very interesting to see how many minutes he gets given in this game against New Zealand. And I think you really saw something that he adds to this South Africa team in leadership. There was one moment, did you notice it, when Willie le Roux was a little bit naughty, was going and mouthing off to Andrew Brace just before the penalty try got awarded, actually. It was about that decision. He was going up to Andrew Brace, the referee, and going, the guy knocked it out of play. Which, I mean, leave conversations like that to the captain. Willie le Roux was a bit out of order. And Sia Khaleesi just totally diffused the situation, saw what was going on, went straight up to the referee and said, sorry, sir, really sorry about that, sir. I'll take care of it, sir. Diffused the potential bomb that was there, and because it could have been that Willie le Roux got a penalty against him or whatever, and it was just so smart and class. So not only was he very good just as a player in that first half, as a leader, he really adds something. And Peter Steph du Toit in the back row as well looked like Peter Steph du Toit of 4 years ago, all of a sudden in that game in Cardiff, didn't he? So if he can replicate that against New Zealand, then South Africa's pack is cooking once again. As for the back line, really interesting. See Faf de Klerk under pressure. He needs a good performance. I think he will be the first choice 9, and you would trust him in the big games. Been there, done it. World-class player. Has been. Maybe not at his best, but yeah, he gets the nod at 9. He needs a big game. Marnie Libbok has got, my goodness, has he got a box of toys outside him. The gas in that back line is frightening. Moody, Arendse, Willemse, and Mapimpi, as well as Libbok. 5 of that South Africa backline are lightning. And, you know, Faf de Klerk and Andre Esterhuizen aren't too shabby either. Really exciting. I've not really seen Moody at 13. There's been a lot of people in comments, in videos, you know, saying, I think Moody will be there as a backup centre and he could be used. There were some people saying Willemse is a backup centre, perhaps, but other people saying Moody, well, we're going to get to see Moody there this weekend. I actually thought he maybe struggled under the high ball a little bit as a winger at the weekend against Wales. And for that reason, Kurt Arenza has got the opportunity to make that jersey his own for that first game against Scotland. And but what I love about this back line, I also think Andre Esterhuizen is just an awesome player. But Jesse Creel has answered any concerns anyone had about the centre pairing. It is de Allende and Creel as the first choice centre pairing, which just shows the embarrassment of riches, because I can tell you as an Englishman, I would take Andre Esterhuizen as a 12 like that. And I think most international teams would be exactly the same. But the matchup that we could be seeing of Geordie Barrett and Rico Ioane against Andre Esterhuizen and Moody, massive men. They must. I think they're all like at least 6'2", 6'3", 6'4" in most cases. So, well, 6'5" in Geordie Barrett's case. So big old boys in the midfield, and they're all ballers as well. I cannot wait for this, and I am expecting New Zealand to pick a first choice team, go with all their big guns, because if they don't, then they won't have played. Come the first game against France, if they don't play in this game against South Africa, they won't have played in best part of a month before they play against France. So I'm fully expecting New Zealand to go fully loaded. South Africa, not fully loaded, but very much not far off it. This is going to be amazing. And one particular thing I'm interested in is the Libbok-Willemse connection 10-15, because New Zealand operate with two guys who can play 10 in their first choice team, in Mo'unga and Barrett. Mo'unga and Barrett, Libbok-Willemse. Oh, I'm really excited. And do you know what? Above all, I think the biggest takeaway for this as an England fan, I'm so happy that Twickenham is going to get to see two brilliant rugby teams. Quite often, lately, we only get to see one, and it's not England. It's whoever's coming to play at Twickenham. So, yeah, Friday night should be an absolute treat. What do you think of the sides? As soon as the New Zealand team is announced as well, I will do a combined team together. I haven't really mentioned the bench, but it's a 6-2 split for South Africa, and I mean every single member of their 33-man squad is impressive, and there's quite a few guys not in their current 33-man squad who may make an appearance in their 33-man squad. Andre Pollard, who are pretty good as well. So it's getting closer and it's getting very exciting. I'm Tim, this is Egg Chasers, and I am going to be 2 weeks tomorrow. I'm flying to Paris and driving down to Marseille. And if you're a South Africa fan, I'm going to be at Scotland v South Africa doing some videos with South African fans and Scotland fans, and it'll be England and Argentina fans outside the stadium in Marseille at the ground. So hit subscribe. There is so much Rugby World Cup content coming. And can you tell I'm a little bit excited?